Welcome to the Conscious Cast, episode 6.
I love that voice.
Now, we're going to be looking at if the mics are working, and then we'll be right with you in just a second.
Testing out our mics, seeing if we hear anything.
I don't want to get anything out there if it's not.
Just talking into the mic here.
Hello.
Seeing if it hears us. How far away I can be before it'll stop
You good?
hearing me at the
They
same
all sound
time.
good? All right. Welcome, everyone.
Hey, that's cool.
As you can tell, once again, we're somewhere new, as always. We are in a lovely man's house, someone that had us just a few days ago to talk about the Mad Dog Miller fight.
Yes, sir.
We have a lot of questions about that for him, but this is Henry Baker of Richmond. Would you mind introducing yourself at all?
Hey, you just did it.
We have a lot of questions for you.
Here we go.
Yes.
My name's Henry Baker, a native of Richmond, and glad to be on the show, gentlemen.
Yeah,
We're
it's a
glad
pleasure
to
to have you
Yeah,
for sure.
no doubt. This is awesome, man. To be a guest and not a host is like kind of different, so I'm
Right.
taking this in stride, you know. I
Yeah.
love it. Thanks, Tom.
Honestly, it's like we haven't had a whole lot of guests, so it's a little bit different for us too. I would say just
Right,
having
right.
somebody like appear on our podcast. So it's
Oh,
definitely
it's cool.
a pleasure.
I love it. Thank you.
I would like to let you know that usually when we'll put up the episode 2 weeks later
Okay.
on my YouTube.
Okay.
And I usually go through and look for faces, and we'll cut them out, and we make like a whole thumbnail. So your face is definitely going to
Oh
be
yeah.
on there. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I seen you with the good laugh over there.
Oh yeah, I've gotten him a couple times pretty good.
I like it's all good.
We
He is
definitely-
the
I
most
can take
emotive
it.
out of everybody for sure.
I can take it. I love
We
it.
catch ourselves looking the silliest,
Oh,
and
yeah.
we
Okay,
we
make
post
sure
it.
you let me know though.
Oh, yeah.
I like to cut out.
I got you.
Hey,
So
cool.
I'm the Vanilla
Appreciate
Boy, spelled with an E, not an I.
I am Days Production.
I'm Seth A.M.
Keaton Mad Dog motherfucking Miller.
In the house. And
Thank you
as
for
I said,
watching.
we were here just a couple days ago. We're going to get into that. I do have some questions here. Everybody here, I believe, has at least one question. I'm not going to drop the names, but these are all from all of us. So
Ooh,
let's get into it.
okay, let's go.
First question. What is your favorite sport?
Wow.
He is a sportsman, guys, if you can't tell from the room. This
you know
man
what?
loves sports.
You know what?
I'm very
That
curious.
I am so glad that you said that because a lot of people think that it's basketball, football, or baseball, but it's not. You know how much I love the Olympics,
Yeah.
and my wife will attest to this. It's curling.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's
Why?
curling.
Why curling?
I don't know.
Fair.
I just
Fair
got
enough.
into it, and if curling is on, there's nothing else on to me. I love it.
Dude, curling is very finesse driven. It's very
Is that
interesting.
Right,
you're
it's
you're
the-
jumping over hurdles? Is
No,
that
curling
Yeah.
is like
What is it?
it's the ice thing, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, where they get
Oh.
that, like, sweeping
Defense
in
where
front
they
I know
of
slide
the
exactly,
it
ball.
down
yeah,
ice, they
yeah,
get on
yeah.
their
Very
knees,
finesseful.
Yeah.
and the defense and strategy is just very interesting. to
Yeah,
me.
I
I
get
don't
that.
I don't know where it came from, but it's not basketball and
Yeah.
football. It's curling.
We took our guesses, and I thought it was going to be swimming.
Yeah.
Well, swimming is right up there. It
I-
is right
I
up there
definitely can
because
see that.
of me going over to Indianapolis too to see the pool and stuff. Swimming's right up there, but it's curling. So,
Curling
yeah.
is
So
cool.
I hope nobody made any bets because I know y'all lost.
I was not gonna guess that.
None of us
I know
would have
y'all
won. I'll tell you
lost.
that.
Right. It's all good. All good.
I would have expected some decorations. Is there any decorations for curling in here?
No decoration for curling. Actually, as I've been going through, I'm trying to find a place to do some Olympic stuff.
Oh,
It's
okay.
got to be the right thing.
I get
You
that.
just can't throw it in there. It has to be the right thing. So it's coming, but that's my sport.
Fair
It's
enough.
curling.
All right, fine. We can
Yeah.
go on to the next one.
Okay.
I definitely would not have expected that.
Right.
So, if that's your favorite sport to watch, what is your favorite sport to play?
It's a good question. Because anything, because I'm that competitive.
Fair.
But if I would say basketball.
Basketball?
I would say
I
basketball.
fuck with
Yeah,
that.
speed.
Yeah.
I can fuck with that. Or track and field because I used to run, but as far as the sport, me playing,
Which track and field did you do? Like which
Richmond High
specific?
School.
No, like what
Which,
what events
event?
did you run?
Yeah, which
just
event?
sprints. I wasn't running
Okay.
long.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
They can have that shit right
I feel
there.
you. I
know
feel
what
you with
mean?
that, yeah.
No, all just sprint 100, 200 relays right
Okay.
there. So something like
I could
that.
definitely see you doing the What were you talking about? Hurdling?
Hurdles?
I can see
No,
hurdling.
no. We had a guy named Juan Garrett, baddest
Oh,
ever
wow.
to me. They took care of all that jumping stuff. I wanted to stay on the ground.
Were you a point guard?
Yeah. I played basketball, but not for Richmond High School. I focused more on
Ah.
running, but we had everything set in place when we got over there.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
It was cool.
Gotcha.
Nice group. Class of '82.
Wow, okay.
Greatest group ever. Greatest
Yeah,
group ever.
I believe
Oh,
that.
yeah, no doubt.
I believe
no doubt.
that.
All right, I got a new
Taking
one
your
for you.
word.
Come on with it.
When did your passion for sports begin?
Oh man, when I was born and my dad sit me in front of the TV and we just stared at the TV and it was sports on. That's what I remember the most. Yes, seriously, it wasn't movies. It was nothing. It was sitting in front of the TV and I mean close. And we watching sports and then growing up watching sports, learning about it. Actually, I had the podcast yesterday with probably the two best running backs in Indiana history, Vegas Ferguson and Vincent Allen. If you Google them, you'll find out. Vincent Allen ran for Indiana State, Vegas Notre Dame, went to the NFL. So stuff like that. You learn up and you watch stuff like that in sports. That's what we did, man. That's what we did around here. Our parents made us go to school, and then when we got out, we run home, watch Fred Sanford, and it's outside. It's
Nothing
we
is
wasn't allowed
worse.
we wasn't allowed to stay in the house. So we had to find something to do, and you didn't want to
Absolutely.
get in trouble. So you had to find something to do, and it was sport.
Fair. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say nothing is worse than like going to school the next Monday and either physically losing in like a little pickup basketball game against your homies or like your favorite team losing.
Oh,
like
yeah.
nothing is worse than going to school that next Monday and just getting roasted.
Right. NFL on Sunday, then you got to go to
Yo.
school Monday. Yeah.
The worst.
Yeah, it is.
How were the interviews yesterday?
Interviews I've done a lot of them, but those, like I said, that was the first time those two had done an interview together, and they're cousins.
Oh.
And like I said, it was big. It was big for the community. So, man, it was awesome.
Very
It was
enjoyable?
the best, one of the
Fair.
best, man. I mean, they talked the stories about Joe Montana. If y'all know the story Rudy, the story about
Yeah,
Rudy.
yeah.
Well, that was Vegas
movie's-
Ferguson's
that movie's
best
dope.
friend.
Really?
That was Vegas. Yeah, when they went to school together, that was his best friend. So I knew about it, so I brought it up on the show. Man, you talking about
That's
memories
crazy.
right
Sick,
there.
bro.
So yeah,
I did
man.
not know that.
Yeah, that's his best friend. And then Joe Montana was a red shirt. He redshirted, so he came in like the next year, and then they just ran with it.
Damn.
And I know because I haven't actually seen the episode of the podcast, so I'm sure
Okay.
maybe you guys talked about this,
Okay,
but
okay.
I know Vegas Ferguson, he came and worked for Richmond High School and the Richmond schools after his career, right?
Mhm. Yeah. He did. He was athletic director, and he did some work in the attendance office. If you didn't come to school, you might get a knock at your door. So I'm just
Yeah.
gonna leave it like that. But and they both are still doing big things for the community. Vince is over there with the football. Vegas still teaches. Actually, we were supposed to do the podcast last week, but he couldn't because he wanted to finish out his teaching the young kids. So
Fair.
at night school, so that's what we did.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
I-
Awesome people.
He was definitely. I remember him working in the building when I went to Richmond High School, and he was definitely a very charismatic individual.
Oh, man. Awesome dude, man.
Yeah,
Awesome. Yep.
for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, he's my sister's uncle.
Right.
And I've never really met him. So like I just hear about him whenever my sister talks about him, and my mom has talked about him too cuz like his brother had passed away recently.
Right.
So
He
like
did, yeah.
he's been really good about like helping Riley get in with the family and like meet everybody and like get involved, and so I really appreciate that.
Well, yeah, something. It's funny that you said because I did a podcast with him a while ago here, and the key word that he's humble.
Oh, okay.
And I could not get him to change over from humble. Show me that toughness that was on the football field, and he just won't do it. He's
Fair.
humble. Him and Vince are humble. They grew up in a heck of a family. We all grew up together, going to different churches. Me and Vince went to the same church, but they're just humble people and love giving back to the community.
Fair. It's actually funny that you say that because my next question was going to be how long have you known these guys?
Oh man, well, like I said, I grew up on the north side. I'm 60 now. I ain't going to say that. I made it, but I grew up on the north side, watching Vegas. We all, like I told him on the podcast, we wanted to see Vegas Ferguson walk out the house. So, since I was born, growing up on the north side, then going to church with Vegas, so really all of my life.
Dang.
All of my life.
Wow, it's almost like a lot of it very much led up to you being in the position to have this podcast and interview them and.
Wow, that's the big question right there, because I even told them a little story about them growing up and me knowing them and just staying involved with them, knowing how they grew up. I wanted to be like them, but to interview them at the same time, the first one, got chills talking about it. It was the best. It was that right now, no disrespect to no podcast or anything. I ain't trying to get jumped on right now. I know him and Levi. I know what he thinking about right now. You know what I'm saying?
Mine's the best one.
Bring that shit up, you know what I mean?
Right.
But, it was the biggest podcast that I did today, just because of the magnification, and it was them too.
Right.
And never been done before, so yeah. They're legends, man. I'm trying to get to their level, and got a long way to go, man. But just to stay positive to like them, wow. Yeah, it's remarkable.
It's an inspiration.
Yeah, it really is, man. And a lot of people look up to them, and it is, and I do too, still. So it's awesome. So great.
We're going to take a segue real quick, because you just talked about the podcast that you did with, not obviously as big.
No,
Matt
let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, I had to,
yeah.
hey, well, it is what it is.
Right.
That's crazy. I love
respect.
it.
But you got to talk about going to jail on our podcast now.
We got to talk about it.
Yeah,
could
you
please
did
drop
it.
it for us? Drop it for us.
You got to drop it.
I want to see it
Yeah,
too.
so shoot, how do I start this, man? I was just working night shift at IHOP, and all night for ever since my Aunt Cindy texted me on Messenger and was like, "Hey, Henry Baker's gonna have you on his podcast. I commented on his Facebook post, and you're gonna have him. He's willing to have you on." I was like, "What? The Henry Baker that interviews the fighters and stuff like that, and the Richmond people?" Yeah, of course. And then I hit you up because you hit me up and got that figured out. And ever since then, I was thinking about doing that in-person podcast with Levi on Henry Baker. And I left work at 3 a.m. and I pulled into the gas station after debating with myself as I was pulling out of the parking lot and everything on if I should even stop at the gas station or if I should just go home, lay in bed, and worry about getting gas and getting an energy drink tomorrow for the podcast with Henry Baker. And I stopped at the gas station. Cops ran my plates. I ended up getting pulled over, and I had a warrant out for my arrest because I missed court for a speeding ticket I had 2 years ago. And it was probably the worst 12-ish, maybe not even 12. It was 10-ish. Yeah, worst 10-ish hours of my life. It was horrible. To have everything just taken from you, bro. It was I could literally, it was nuts. It was unbelievable. I never thought I would. I wanted to go through life without ever smoking a cigarette or going to jail.
Right.
And one of those things happened.
Yeah.
The other thing's definitely not happening, but going to jail was not it. So all you kids out there that are watching this, man, do not be doing anything to even remotely give you a chance of ending up in any jail. It's not worth it at all.
Dude, I heard from a reliable source that was a lie.
You know
Yes.
what? It was kind of funny because when he texted me and told me that, and I want to just tell you right now, hell, I'm honored. He getting out of jail thinking about me in jail and everything. Shit. I was like, and then, because I'm going to be real honest with you, we talked about this. We all, the Levi camp, the sub dude, nobody thought you was going to show up.
Yeah.
Then I seen you standing outside. I was like, oh, it's on and
Yeah.
So, and I want to say this, and I would say that was the best podcast as far as the situation, what was going on.
Yeah,
Two
okay.
podcasts in one day. And then I had the podcast yesterday, and then being on, come on, are you telling me?
Oh, man,
So the
yeah.
week of podcasts, you guys are in my memory book
yeah, you guys are
forever. Oh,
Yes,
I am
sir,
racking
bro.
memories up.
Yo.
I'm really, seriously, gentlemen, I'm really honored for y'all to think about me like that and still come down and do the
Of course,
podcast.
yeah. No
That was
problem at all.
awesome. Yeah, man. But wow, I can't wait.
What you were saying, kind of reminds me of what Henry said, because he was saying, when he was growing up, instead of getting in trouble and like going to jail, because you were saying, if you're a young person, it can be tempting to like do things that might get you in trouble, especially when you're like you got to go outside. You're not staying in the house.
That's right.
It's
right.
like
You're 18 and you get a 2019 Toyota Yaris, and you're like, "Ooh, let me go a little fast."
It's like I think Henry, he's choosing the right thing when he's picking a passion instead of picking getting in trouble. He's picking a passion like sports.
Mm-hmm.
Play sports. Find somebody that you can play music with, or make some kind of art with, or just like express yourself in some kind of way. Because getting in trouble just to impress your friends, if your friends are impressed by you getting in trouble, that's not good friends.
Yeah, we just talked about that. Yesterday.
Show your friends, even those friends, show them that you can have a better time playing a game, playing some sports,
That's right.
doing something productive with
That's
your
right.
life,
Hey, it's big nowadays because the technology. I mean, you got to remember me growing up, I didn't know what a cell phone was. First cell phone I had was a big carry-on cell phone. I seen it in St. Louis and needed one. I mean, and so from that day on, technology has it's unreal. And, going back to what you said, that's why kids, don't get involved too much. But if you get involved in technology, take it to the next level.
Yo.
You know what I mean? I'm not
yeah,
saying it's out there 'cause
podcasting,
it's
right.
bad.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Podcasting, because, I mean, if I'd have known that I could do this podcasting years and years ago, man.
Game over.
True.
It's game over. But to do it now, it was all for a reason. It was all for a reason.
Yeah, I
It was
mean,
all
it's
for a
like
reason.
video games can take up a lot of time
Mhm.
and like take you away from like life and reality and stuff. And if you let it like just consume you just to play video games for the sake of playing video games, it's gonna
Right.
do that. And it's like we've talked about it before because I'm a big gamer.
Right.
So like I like to play video games all the fucking time, but I do step away. But it was like we were playing like every night, and it was like getting to the point where we were losing track of like doing the things that we needed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And David was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, and then it was like, once we started streaming it, and now we like have a way for us all to play and like get value out of playing the video games, so that it's not just so wasteful all the time. It's like, everything that you are passionate about can be turned into something that you can do productively.
It's very entertaining to play video games with your friends.
Yeah.
And a lot of people look to that if they are getting on tech, like on the internet, like they're looking for stuff on YouTube or whatever, people to relate to. And so watching somebody play video games and just it's almost like you're in the room with your brothers or your siblings or whatever, just playing video games, having a good time.
Right.
And that's very valuable.
It is.
I agree. What's the next one? Oh wait, I know exactly what the next one is because it's mine. What was being a teacher like?
Wow.
I was very curious when you dropped that on us.
I got to experience that, rest in peace, Joe Spicer. Actually, I got to teach the kids a little bit over at the high school biology. It was interesting. I had a couple of kids that I would take around the different classes, special needed kids. So to learn that and to be involved in that for the first time, because being around kids, it wasn't nothing, but sitting in classrooms with them, going over tests with them, it's almost like I had to take the test before they did. Yeah, I had to know the answers before they did. And believe me, I did cheat a little bit. I did cheat myself a little bit, but it was for them.
Right.
So it was interesting, but kids change. So but the kids that I had, I see them now, and they're managers, and they still come up to me, Henry, man, you big influence, and I mean, oh man, that's the joy of it right there. That's the joy of it, is seeing kids come up to me now. Well, my kids was in high school also at that time. My son playing basketball, my daughter volleyball in the big time sports. So I was known over there. So it just elevated. It was fun.
When did you stop?
I think I stopped. It's been a little while. I can't remember the year. I want to say. Let me think now.
I don't miss high school.
You don't?
I do not miss high school.
I've been gone from over there about 7-8 years. I've been going over because I also did security.
Oh, okay.
I did. Yeah, I did. I only teached and helped out there for 3 years, and then I did security for 5. So I was over high school for 8 years.
The Richmond High School?
Yeah.
You
Richmond
are
High
very
School.
Richmond, very Indiana, very Richmond. Are you from Richmond?
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
you
Born
really?
here,
What
raised
made you
in
never,
Richmond.
never leave? We
Well-
left. We came back from Columbus last year.
You know
Or
what?
no, this year. Sorry, 2 weeks ago, but we moved a year ago.
That's a good question. I want to say it was my wife.
Oh,
You know, she had her family here. You know, of course, me being a male, and we've been together over, we'll say over 40 years now, so we're boyfriend and girlfriend. And,
That's
and me not just wanting to leave. You know, I left a couple of times, went to Florida, you know, maybe a couple weeks or something, worked down there and messed around, but come back here. Actually, it's funny you talked about that because I talked to a lady at work today that worked over at Bias, and I was buying, and I know what none of my friends doing this shit. When I was working at McDonald's, I was giving my check to my wife to buy a Hope chest. Y'all know what a Hope chest is?
I do not.
See, I know, and I know none of my friends do. It's a chest that you buy silverware and stuff in it for the future. You know about that? Yeah, well, you might not because, yeah. So at that age, 17, 18, 19, giving up your check, it wasn't good. But it all evolved to this. It all evolved to me being married for 34 years, 2 beautiful kids, and I mean, what can I say?
So you were investing in yourself.
And didn't know it.
Yeah, right.
No, and the thing is, I knew I was going to be with her. You know, you get with somebody and you just know.
Yeah.
So I knew I was going to be with her, but I'm not going to say she invested in me. I invested in her. It's 50-50. I don't want to use that word. You're going to have me beat up. But, you know, shit. Use the damn right words, man. No, it was a plan. You know, I also talked about that. We planned our life. We wanted to have 2 kids. We didn't care boys or girls. We didn't care. We wanted kids to come over to our house, have fun. We wanted our kids to experience the sports championships and go on to do big and better things. I don't know. Yeah.
So, was there ever like, what's the hardest part about that? Do you think about like planning with your woman of the future and like when you're starting to make it into fruition? What's the hardest part? What's the hardest part
The hardest part about planning a relationship.
Essentially, yeah. Like
Trust
planning out the
it.
future.
Trust it.
Okay.
Don't second guess yourself. I always say that when I bet too. People put their bets out there and do all of that. I don't, because it's me. I bet and I roll with it. You know, I help out and but I don't second guess yourself. Trust and man, roll with it.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
when I tell you what, when you have that first kid, if you're going to get that far, man, when you have that first one, man, your life changes. And I seen it. It changed. I wasn't no bad person. Never been in jail or nothing like that. But things just changed.
not like you.
I didn't mean it like that. They said, no, hey, man. They threw you under the bus. Man.
I know you didn't mean it like that,
You
but
know I didn't mean that.
whatever.
Wait, what y'all doing over here, man?
Clip it again.
Oh, sorry, bro. Sorry.
Damn.
I had to take it. I see
But,
it. I had
but
to
you
take
know
it.
what I mean, Chef. You know what I
Yeah,
mean.
absolutely. I don't
roll
even
with
count
it.
it, really. Like, even when I was telling my grandparents
Yeah.
about it, I was like, I feel like I'm over-exaggerating, like,
got
telling
the-
them I went to jail.
Got
Like,
the
this is
freaking
not...
hecklers over
Yeah.
here. Y'all ain't missing a damn beat over here. But man, just trust what you do, man, and
Yeah.
roll with it and listen to each other.
Fact,
You're
okay.
going to argue. You're going to have ups and downs. Get by that shit.
Yeah.
Man. Get by that shit.
absolutely.
It is what it is. 34, over 40 years, probably 41
Yeah.
years, married 34.
That's really impressive, honestly.
Yes, bro. That's admirable.
I appreciate
as hell.
that. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. And I give all the credit to her. Because, and
Got to.
I mean, people laugh when I say
No.
that shit. But I really do, because I think about, I mean, when got in no trouble, but would I just be working, single, no kids, or just, I ain't gonna say, or in trouble, or something like that. You just don't know where you be. And so I think about that shit, man.
Yeah.
You know, where I am now or where I would have been. And I'm glad I'm not thinking about where I would have been, because I'm cool and I'm satisfied and I'm content.
Yes.
I don't know.
It seems like you
Got
made a
you.
lot of the right decisions.
Fact.
with a lot of help.
Yes, yo.
I
You need
cannot
it though. You need it.
Yeah, you can't do it. You can't do it by yourself.
nobody
Yeah.
does it by
You can't do
themselves,
it.
and
Yeah.
honestly, it's like I have a question because
Yeah, come on with
I
it.
have,
Come on with it.
I have like a
Hey,
stipulation
I
on
love
like
this.
people saying that they're content. Is it more that you're just like happy where you're at, like that,
Super
and what with
ha-
what you've
happy,
done?
happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, content is just a word you know.
It feels like
boom.
you're just kind of staying where you're at because
No, man, I can't stay where I'm at. I'm elevating. I'm still doing
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
In that
Yes,
sense, but
yeah.
no, content is just I'm content with her. I'm cool.
Right.
Yeah, I'm
I got
content.
you.
I'm cool. It's fun though, man. It's fun. It's fun. People say, "Oh, I won't never get married." It's fun.
Yeah.
I had a bunch, especially the kids practice, going to practice. Man, you know, memories.
Yeah. It
what
almost
it's
feels
about.
like that's like literally. I feel like it is what life is all about, is reproducing. If you want to think about it like in a realistic term,
yeah.
like reproducing,
Yeah,
and then
you're right.
living a life off of that is having a family and having kids and stuff. So.
It is because, and my wife would tell you this, and I'm not scared to say this. I never thought I would have kids.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought, actually, and I was like, I don't want no kids, you know. And the reason I say that because I didn't want to see them perish or anything. I didn't want to
For
see them get hurt or
sure.
anything. So I was like, I'm gonna just roll. But then everything started changing. You get older, you start thinking different.
Gotcha.
When you have that first, when you have
Yeah.
that first. Now my son, man, a dog now.
Yeah.
He's a dog. I love
How
him,
old
man.
is
My son is 26, 27,
Okay.
and my daughter's 30.
Okay.
31. Yeah. So they're
So
old. My daughter.
younger brother, older sister.
Oh, and I love it like that. I love it
Yeah?
like that. And she's so independent. Man, if you mess with him, she's flying from New Orleans.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Oh man, she loves her bubby. But I'm very both proud of them, Kendall and Kelsey Baker. I'm very proud of them, and my wife Yvette, and me.
Yeah.
I love being the off center. Them three, and I'll do anything for them. I just want to be by myself and let them go.
That's a good father. I could tell, bro. Yeah.
Yep. I appreciate it.
Of course.
It. Yep.
I'm very curious about, you said last time we came here that when you started getting into podcasting and stuff, you started with a radio, or you were on the radio. What was that?
Well, actually, I did my first podcast. It was with Jerry Coleman, and he's an Indiana All-Star, badass. He got voted a mini Mr. Basketball. And so if you understand basketball, if you get Mr. Basketball out of the state of Indiana, you are the shit. So he was under 6 foot, so they call it mini Mr. Basketball, and that's what he got. So he's a badass. So we did our first podcast, and so then the radio, the podcast come first, and then I got the call from the radio station if I wanted to come do an interview there. And rest in peace, Bob Van Pelt, because he called the radio station and said, you need to get with this guy. I've been on the radio, but just like this,
Right.
clowning, we little kid, we want to get on the damn radio like that. We see him down there, so I wanted to do that and went over there for the interview, and the rest is history. And I always talk about that too, man, from doing one interview. And I want to give big ups to Jeremy Keene and Jamie Loatman and Phil Taylor, because actually Phil was the one that wanted me to do podcasting, and I said no. I shut it down for like a year. I said, well, I'm not going around. I know all the sports. I know everybody know that. And then he stayed on me, and then he had Jeremy King come over from My Team Live, and when he walked in here and we talked, and it just started from there. So I was with them for a while, and then I just shot off by myself and just interviewed anybody, man. And that's what I did. I went out and went to places and do you want to do an interview? And for nothing, let's do it. And that's where it started.
You bring a lot of charisma, which is it helps you facilitate a podcast well, but also you bring a lot of passion for sports, so it's like a perfect subject for you to be interviewing people. It's like I think it's almost like at least one of your callings in life. You know what I'm saying?
Again, man. I mean, like y'all are asking some awesome questions. Because I think about that. People think about what your calling is. I really don't think this is it. I think sports is, but I think you always got to think it's just your calling. There's something else out there. Elevate. There's something else out there. But I appreciate that.
And it's leading to more.
Sports is my calling, but is it leading to something else? if I wouldn't have been doing this, I wouldn't have met y'all.
True.
You see what I'm saying? So now I'm meeting more people. I'm going to events that, I mean, I'm getting tickets to places, you know, people are recognizing it. So I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
It's fun. And I didn't even know, I didn't know I had all of this, you know. You just don't know. I've never listened to myself on the radio.
Yeah.
I've
Sometimes it's
I've
like
never listened to myself on the radio, and I listen to my podcast here and there. I don't know.
sometimes it's like you're just doing something for fun, and then people start to tell you like, "Wow, you're really good at this," and then you're like, "Oh, okay." Like, I didn't even know. Like,
And you said it. And I just didn't know. I'm just having fun with it, man.
Yeah, that's what it's
Just
about
having
too.
fun,
Yeah.
yeah.
But when I'm in the UFC, I'll put you on the scene, bro.
Oh,
Yeah, I got
Would
you.
you be a commentator for UFC?
yeah, I would.
Okay.
I would. You know, that would be fun. You know,
That'd be crazy.
I almost had an opportunity. You know, I told y'all a little story. We're not going to bring it up, but you
Sure.
know, but almost got to. But it would be fun to do it one time just to see,
Yeah.
man. I had to be on my toes though, man. But it would just be fun just to try
Yeah.
it, failed or not.
So,
You know.
another question I had.
Yeah, let's go,
was,
baby.
What's your favorite thing to commentate, or if you haven't really commentated a lot of different sports, what would you like to commentate on?
Like which sport?
Yeah, like which
Yeah,
sport would be?
What sport? Wow. Track and field,
Okay.
Olympics.
Fair.
Are you
Yeah,
kidding
the
me?
Olympics,
Are
yeah,
you
that makes a lot of
kidding
sense,
me?
actually, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Sick.
Fucking track and field.
That'd be sick.
It has to be something in the Olympics
Yeah.
because I love the Olympics, man. Because all of the countries coming there, but it has to be track and field. I think it's track and field.
Dude, I could
That's
just
what's
see this man. It's like neck and neck, and he's like getting up at the chair.
I think that would be. I think, and that would be it. I probably like Noah Lyles getting ready to run out there. I think I'd be running right next to him.
like run with the mic. Are you ready to get your
Stripping
goal?
the mic and
You're about to
everything.
win.
Yeah. Be the first interviewing him while he coming down the track. Man, that would be wow.
Bro, I just
Yeah.
think you're a character and you know how to put yourself out there, and it's very entertaining. And that's
I
why your
appreciate
podcast
it.
is like gaining traction and people are enjoying like being in that presence.
I appreciate it because you know what, my wife, when you do a podcast, man, and you want to get out there, she always told me think out the box.
Yes.
So I think out the box, and like the interview I did yesterday, just thinking about doing an interview with them too. I said, you know, I've been knowing them all my life, but have you guys ever did an interview together?
Right.
No. Oh, okay, here it is. Here it
Yeah.
is. So, you know, again, man, I guess it took over 50 years to find out. But the community, no, I've always been having fun. But to do this for the community and keep up with the young people and seeing where they at, the Nathan Traywicks, the Dominic Jameses, the Desmond Baines, you know, I got the first one to interview him out at Clear Creek. So,
Yep.
man, just stuff like that, man. And it's fun, man.
Yeah,
it's fun.
It's crazy because we were just talking about this the other day because so we're getting into like refurbishing furniture.
Okay,
and shit.
okay,
And
okay.
So like we're over at Townhouse. Well, Seth has worked for Townhouse before because his mom's like the manager and stuff.
Okay.
And so he's had to go over to Sherwin-Williams, which is right next to Townhouse.
It
and get paint.
is.
And then we're like,
It
all right, that's where we'll go to like check out shit. And we get there and we're like talking to this guy. And he knows his shit, bro. Like, he is so passionate about, like, what we're trying to do. So it was, like, the perfect guy to meet in this scenario because we don't know what we're doing.
yeah, like he was quite literally a carpenter, and he knows a lot about paint and
Okay.
about the whole process of refurbishing things. Like,
And he was, like, very open to, like, giving out the information and being, like, you know, like, if you want to do this, like, you should buy this and get this. And he wasn't trying to, like, just, like, sell us, like, some shit that we didn't really need so he can make better sales and everything like
Right,
that. He
right.
was genuinely, like, giving us all the ins and outs. And he was like, you know, like, I know too much about this. And we're like, no, bro, keep it coming. Like, we're trying to
actually-
get all the
You
information.
try to
based
get
on
the
his
knowledge.
recommendation, we actually walked out of the building with just $10 worth of sandpaper.
Right.
It's like he
Wow.
wasn't trying to get us to
Right.
buy a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
So it's like we were talking about it after we left. I was like, man, I feel like we're just like gravitating people that we need to meet like into like our way to run into them. And it was like he like painted for Townhouse like what 7 years ago or something like that.
About like that, yeah.
So it was like he wasn't doing that with the intent of like, okay, later on I'm gonna be back here and I'm gonna
Right.
need to go to Sherwin-Williams and know like that's where I'm gonna need everything and like blah blah blah. So he was like setting up a stepping stone that he didn't even see. It's like way in the future, and that's what you did. It's like you build a community, you learned all of the knowledge of the community and like put everybody onto your knowledge of the community, and then now you're just taking the next step that was setting up to just like help you take that even further than you were even trying to take it already.
Yeah, you hit it all right there, man. Not even knowing, But then you start getting all these calls and people calling you, and coaches calling you, and newspapers calling you, and then you're like, oh, okay, then I got to keep this going for them. It ain't. Let me tell you something. It's not for me.
Fair.
And I always tell people that I don't need to do this. I can come home and eat my pancakes and sit and do my own sports because I've been doing it.
Yeah.
But just to do it for everybody in the community, it's fun, man.
Yeah.
It's just fun. Being around them.
I've been reading this book. It was called The Way of the Superior Man, and like right at the end, it was talking about how it's really important to give your gift to the world, and it's like that's what fulfills you. It's like if you are willing to give your gift to the world, it reciprocates to you, and that's like what you're doing. You're not necessarily like, I need to podcast because I need to take my podcasting career to the max.
Right.
But you are like,
right.
If people need somebody to podcast about all this stuff and I'm the guy, then I'll do that.
Let's go.
Fuck it. Like,
let's
you're
go.
just giving your gift, and people are reciprocating that with like a lot of, I would say they get a lot of joy.
Right. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. And that's what I hope they do get, and positive stuff.
Fair.
And maybe the next person to do that. I was even asked to speak in a classroom.
Dang,
So over at the high school. So hopefully they'll stay in contact with me, and if they don't, that's fine. But I was asked to speak at the high school in a class and talk about podcasting. How did I get there? How did I get here?
That's sick, bro. That's so sick.
Cool. I hope that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like that's the best world we could imagine would be where everyone's just following passions that they have. And
Man, yeah. And if I can just hit one, then that one may hit two, that two might hit three.
Right.
And just keep pushing, man.
Yeah.
So great.
See, that mentality is like kind of what I've done with my music. It's like I have to like hope that, like my friends are like into it, and then once they're into it, they see people and they're talking about the music, and they're like, well, my friend makes music, so then that's 2 people, and then those 2 people turn into 4 people, and then
Right.
it just like amplifies itself essentially. If you can get it to just keep going and be consistent, the traction will carry itself. A snowball effect, essentially.
Right. But just be passionate in what you do, I mean, and not just bringing up the floor, but just the floor itself, just being passionate into the detail that I had to put into that. You got to be, when you do something, be passionate about it.
Right. Because
it don't matter.
If somebody comes in here and looks at that floor and they were like you didn't really put a lot of passion into it, you're like, yeah, it's a replica and it just kind of looks like whatever. It's like, people are going to know that. And it's like, everybody that comes in here and looks at that, they're like, holy shit, bro. Like, it's like
I appreciate
a literal, it's like a mini-sized Richmond basketball court.
Well,
it literally looks like
and you're talking about it, and you're like, and there's this detail and this detail, and it's
Right.
literally a perfect replica, and it's like
Yeah,
you can tell that there's a passion behind what you did here. Like,
it's pretty weird, I get that, and I even already happy, man, when they come here and see this, it's going to be different. And I even had one, man, when people come in, your life's going to change. How my life going to change at 60? But as far as, the floor, the room, it's different.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But, just to get away from the floor in the room, but just being passionate.
Yep.
What was you just talking about,
Yeah.
man? And be honest to people, man.
Yes,
just
bro.
Be honest to people.
Yes, it's like,
you have to.
I've talked about this before, but I've been doing music for like 7 years now. So I've met a lot of musicians. And it's like a lot of the times when I meet these people, because I'm like at an echelon right now where I'm not like meeting all the big stars, all the people that are successful in the music industry. So I'm meeting a lot of people that are saying they're musicians,
Okay.
but they're not really trying very hard. Like
Right,
they're doing like
right.
the bare minimum, and their music reflects that. And I'm like, I can tell you're not passionate. Like, I know what it's like to be passionate. I've met people that are passionate about music, and they make really good music. It's like, it's just, I can tell, and other people can tell too. It's like, if you want something to be successful, or just even something that you're proud of, the passion is what matters. It's
It
like,
does.
if you do it
It
to your
matters.
fullest capability, then that's what's going to give
It
you the
matters.
fulfillment, and other people to be like, wow, this is really cool.
It matters, big time.
Yeah.
It matters. Yep.
What would you say your favorite thing about podcasting is?
Meeting new people,
Oh.
just talking to, getting, I mean, like you guys. I mean, I mean, and getting stories. because those are memories, man.
Fair.
Those are memories. I mean, it ain't, you know, the guest is cool and all of that, but the stories and the people you meet is, I mean, because if you wasn't doing podcasting or me not doing radio, I don't meet these people. I don't meet you guys.
Right.
I don't.
Yeah.
So
Is it like a learning experience? Do you take wisdom from their stories? Like, what do you appreciate about the stories?
Oh man, that I didn't know about them.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't know about them, and like Rudy, like Vegas, I knew about, but like you didn't know about that. But you know the movie.
Yeah.
Now you know Rudy in Vegas was like that. Can you believe that?
True, that's a good point.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So stuff
There's
like
stuff you're not
that.
paying attention to, but
Yeah,
it's
but
totally the case.
It's crazy, man. Just the stuff that you learn and the memories, man.
It's almost
I
like
love
little
that.
tiny pieces of human history.
It's not like it is.
It is, yeah, quite literally,
It's
yes.
human history,
Yes.
man, and like I'll just take that and run with it. It's like fun, man. And that's a good question, though. What I like about podcasting is just the people sitting with me, talking, me getting the knowledge, me staring in their eyes, just soaking it all in, just soaking it in. What they say, even though they think I'm not looking at it, I'm soaking it in because I'm having fun doing this, man. I'm on the other side of 50, you guys. I'm gonna have fun every day now. I'm having freaking fun every damn day,
That makes
man.
me very optimistic. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
As a person who's been interviewed by you, you can definitely tell that you're listening to every single thing that I'm saying. The questions you're asking are genuine. They're not just to get out there and just to go along with the podcast or the interview. Like, this is what you are wanting, is to hear the info and take in the stories and the memories, like you were saying.
Well, you got when you do a podcast and you ask questions, you got to be genuine. Don't be fake.
Yep.
Don't be fake with your guest, or even if you don't be with your guest, because I'm always the host. So even vice versa.
Yeah.
Me being a guest up here, I'm not gonna be fake. Always be true to your guests. Be real with them and have fun with them, man.
For sure, yeah.
And, don't be fake with them. Because I used to write all my questions down, and
That's what I do.
now I don't have to now.
Fair.
I maybe jot a few things down, but now I done got so used to it. I used to be so stiff, scared. My first podcast up here with Jerry Coleman, I was so stiff. And that was the one I watched, and I said, that fucking ain't me. That's not me. Yeah. So then I opened up. After that first podcast, I was gone.
Yeah.
I was gone.
Wow.
Man. It was fun. It was fun. So just be true, man. Just be true.
Yeah. That's probably how.
This is great, man. Y'all, I can tell y'all real with this. I can tell.
Yeah.
So just keep doing what you're doing. No, really. I'll tell you if you wasn't. I mean,
I love
because I
that.
have
Oh
to.
yeah. Yeah.
I can't-
Exactly.
Like I just told you, be real.
You'd have to tell us.
I gotta tell you.
You'd have to tell us if you thought you guys aren't being genuine enough. It seems like robotic. Like
You're not robotic. I can already tell. So keep doing what y'all doing, man. Stay loose.
it is.
Yeah.
I agree with you
Stay
100%. Like especially this
Stay
episode
loose.
right now. Like this is fun.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm loving this.
This is so
I love
enjoyable.
this.
that's how you want it, man. Fun and what the heck, go with it. You drop look, like who dropped the water over there when we was leaving? Was that you dropped? Somebody dropped water when we was leaving over there. That was you dropped the water. What was
Somebody did knock a water
the water?
over. It was Kean. Kean
Yeah,
dropped
yeah.
her water, and
So-
so like, oh, this water,
Yeah. But if something like happened like that on the air, what the hell, man?
Yeah,
Go
it's
with
in
it. Have fun. He about panicked over there, man. It's just water. I kept saying it's just water.
You guys reminded me of water. You made me take a drink.
Yeah, just be real, man, and have fun,
Yeah.
man. That's what it is, man. You said it. Have fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
Well,
fun.
when we first moved to Columbus, I remember the exact day because it's a very funny day in our timeline.
Okay.
It was April 12th of 2023. Do you remember the dumpster fire last year that was here? Where the smoke
Oh
was
yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So the Domino's that we worked at was 6 miles from the explosion itself.
Okay.
0.1 miles outside of the evacuation zone.
Okay.
So a rock's throw to where everybody was told never to go.
Oh.
Is where we were. So I'm calling the supervisors and stuff one night because I go outside and it smells horrible. And they pretty much tell me, they're like, okay, so everybody in your building feels uncomfortable about this stench and about if it's healthy to breathe in. well, if your drivers want to go home, that's fine. Let them go home. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, I'm the manager and I'm in charge, but what if I don't feel comfortable? And
Right.
he was like, I'm going to send your general manager there. I'll be there in like 20 minutes, like whatever he was saying. And he didn't show up. It was all a front. And he sent the general manager there. And then he asked us if we really want to go. We say yes. We go home that night, and then we're like, all right, what if they fire us tomorrow? What if they let us go? What are we going to do? We're like, we're going to go to Columbus, because that's where the Vanilla Boy was.
Right.
And we're going to try to get a job where he's at.
Okay.
Sure enough, the next day, we both try to go in through the back like we usually do, and there are two managers from different stores that are just standing guard at the door. Like, they wouldn't even let us in.
Seriously.
I swear. And they were like, hey, we've been doing some thinking. You guys already said you were going to go to Columbus in a few months. Like, we're just going to part ways now. Like, we're just going to yeah. So then, after they realize we're cool, there's no smoke, they're like, oh, okay, if you guys have anything inside the building, you can feel free to go in there and check it out, grab what you need to grab.
Okay.
So I tell my aunt, because I only ever worked there because of my aunt, I tell her, hey, we're leaving, not coming back. I never stepped foot in a Domino's again until last night.
True.
I stepped foot in a Domino's last night because they got food from there. I refused to eat it. Anyway.
You didn't eat it?
No,
He didn't eat a
no,
single
no.
bite.
Wow.
He ate food at
No,
home.
fuck Domino's. But,
Passion.
but anyway, we go to Columbus, and a year and 4 months goes by. We just got back to Richmond 2 weeks ago. We've been in Columbus that whole time until 2 weeks ago.
Seriously.
And we started doing this podcast. We did 3 episodes while living in Columbus, and we just moved back. We're on our 6th episode now.
Well, awesome, man.
And we've done every episode in a different location, damn near.
Well,
Yeah, this
keep
is
it
our-
We have
rolling,
not
man.
done one in the
This is the
Technically, we did 2 at their house, but it was like in different locations.
different
Wow.
areas of the
Okay.
yeah.
Same setup,
Okay,
so it's
right.
True.
It's always different.
But the reason I say all that is because we always had the idea of starting a podcast because we would just have a lot of interesting conversations.
Right.
We would ask a lot of questions. We'd have a lot, like 4-hour conversations
Yeah.
where we would disagree, heated debate, and then be like, okay, so this means this now, dope, and we get over it. And it's like a lot of important information was just skimmed over because
Right.
we didn't record it. And then we went to a party after our sober month. We did a sober month in August last year, and right after that on
Sober
September
month.
3rd.
yeah.
Yeah, we did a tea break, as all the kids call it.
Okay.
But we go to a party on September 3rd, 3 days after, and we're just talking. We're just having this lengthy conversation like
It
we
was
always
like-
do.
It was like a conversation about like the dumbest shit. It was like we were talking about trees and how trees were. I don't remember. It was like we were trying to give trees
We
like
talked
a
to,
humanistic
we talked
character.
about wealth inequality.
Yeah.
We talked about a lot of
And
stuff.
some dude across on the other side of like the bonfire? Is that what it was? He was like, "You guys sound like you should be on a podcast." And we were like, "Oh."
Yeah,
okay,
it was
that's
kind of
what
just
we
it was
were
kind of
saying."
just the 3 of us talking and one other guy that we were talking to, and there was like 5 other people sitting around here, and they were just quiet listening to us, and we were just talking. And yeah, so one of these other people that was quiet was like, "You guys, this is entertaining. You guys should do a podcast."
So, and that's where it has jumped off.
There was another person that said it. I can't remember the exact story, but there
Okay.
was some other person that said later on down the line, right before we started, that was like, "You guys should start a podcast." And it's like, dude, the world is telling us what to do right now.
And that's it, man. Like I said, now, you know what? Now you can't turn back.
Definitely
Right.
not.
You
Right.
can't turn back, man. Because if you do, now they're gonna say, "Well, why ain't you doing the podcast? Why ain't you doing the?"
Honestly, it's helped us a lot. We've had to be more organized with our life to be able to fit this in, because we also need to make money, and we're trying to survive along the way. We play video games and stream that. I paint. We make music. He writes all the time. It's like we're all doing all kinds of stuff, and
And you know what? That's good. Not to interrupt you, but that's good because you're young. You
Right.
can do that. Soak it all in. Do every damn thing.
Fair.
I mean, do everything, but do it in the right way. But do everything. If you can, but time management. I had a class that was it was in Bloomington when I was going to school at IU. It was called time management, and me and a friend of mine, we just turned it in. It was time management, and it made you do your whole time for the day, and we did a lot of stuff. And then me and him flipped it and turned it into money management, how to save your money and stuff. And heck, that didn't work. I'm broke right now. Shit. But you know what I'm saying. But
well,
you
I mean,
know
look
what
at look at what you have a lot to show for what money you have had in
But
the process.
You gotta remember, but this house, I've been in this house over 30 some years, so it wasn't a lot then, but it was a lot because I
Fair.
was young.
True.
So and
Yeah.
big ups to my wife for finding this house.
Yeah.
Man. I ain't had nothing to do with this house. I was at home sleep. It's 90 degrees. I just lived right down the street. I lived in the apartments, and she came over here with the realtor and in this room, and I just fainted. It was crazy, man. But we went all off the damn subject, didn't we? Whatever.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
This is why we started recording, because
man,
it
this
just
is
goes
fun,
everywhere.
man. Yeah.
Time management
This
is
is fun.
something we talk about
Yeah.
all the time, and also it's like we started doing like whiteboards, like dry erase boards, doing schedules.
Yeah.
And he's got like a whiteboard for songs he started and needs to finish, and all the steps to finishing it. And we've got we started doing budgets to help manage our money. We're working together on a lot of stuff because it's really hard to do stuff alone and remember to keep up on stuff. And it's like we find each other's weak spots and try to cover them. You know,
That's true too. And you working at a group. That's good. You said that. If he's got a weak spot, you'll cover it. You cover it. Yeah.
Yes.
Do what y'all do, man. But stay together and don't listen to the outside stuff.
Yeah.
Listen to the outside stuff, man. If y'all rolling, roll with it. Get together, make decisions, and roll with it. No different.
So many times.
It's no different. It's no different from being married. You're gonna make decisions. You're gonna get together. You're gonna make decisions. Don't make the decisions of a $15,000 without her there.
Facts.
You know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But if you got it like that, roll with it.
Fair.
Do you say the not making a decision about $15,000 from experience, or?
No. Hell no.
I was gonna ask, what'd you spend it on?
No, y'all gonna have me. Y'all ain't getting me in no trouble. No, man, I can't go out there and be spending no $15. Yeah. Where'd you get it?
Yeah. She's in on that, right?
No, man. Actually, that scoreboard was donated to me. Actually, not donated, but when my daughter was born, and I want to say 28 years ago, a guy named Steve Alexander was director at the YMCA. And I don't know if he's still around or even still living, but it was a blank spot up on the wall because they got a smaller one, updated technology. Yeah. So, and that one was the big one. And I said, man, where's that old scoreboard at? He said, up there in the building. And me and a friend, he said, you can have it. Me and a friend went up there and got it, took it to the Radisson Hotel where I worked, stuck it in, messed with the wire. It said, zip, zip, and it ain't went off since.
That's awesome.
And it's like a 1942 scoreboard.
Man,
It's old.
And it's like you didn't know till you asked, you know.
You didn't know till you asked, where's that scoreboard? He said, I can
And I was
have
just
it.
taking up space for him, but it's a decoration for
It's a
you.
decoration.
And it also
but
just
awesome.
shows like how much you pay attention to things that you really care about. Like you probably walk in there and you're like, oh, dude, I love that scoreboard. And then one day it's just not there, or you've been going for so long and it's just not there, and you're not just so like unconscious in there that you don't even see it, and you're like, I hope you didn't throw that away.
Yeah, that's funny you said, because I kept looking up there, and whatever made me ask him that, I don't know. I just asked him where to go, and I was doing voluntary work. You know, my daughter was playing basketball. My son wasn't born then. Daughter playing basketball at the Y, and I just seen they hadn't painted it. You know, it was bigger.
Yeah.
So, and a smaller one was there, and I just asked, and I don't know. I probably was, Noah had a sports room looking for stuff, but to get that right there was unreal. It just set it off in here.
It's like we're really big about manifesting and
Oh,
like
yeah.
projecting your reality from like the things that you talk about and like do, and like we had been talking about like refurbishing furniture for like a minute, and it was like it's the same with the podcasting thing, right? So it's like we were talking about it. We were like, yeah, that'd be cool. We've never done it before. We don't really have anything. We're gonna have to get on Facebook Marketplace to try to find some furniture to like start. And then we're helping my grandma clean out her building, and lo and behold, there's just this little stool, and I'm like, that's a cool stool. I was like, are you getting rid of that? And she was like, no, it can't be sold. Like, it was your great-grandpa's or whatever. And I was like, I'll take it. And she was like, well, you just can't sell it. And I was like, perfect. So we're going to refurbish it. So now we have a piece of furniture that we were just essentially speaking into existence. It just showed itself to us in that moment. It was like, I was like, can I have that? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, now we just have furniture that we can use to practice on so that we can start making money on that, because that's something that we want to do.
Well, no different from that. Just ask.
Exactly.
That reminds me of today when we were pulling weeds at Townhouse Apartments, and all of a sudden Seth's like talking about water. He's like, man, I'm really thirsty. I could use some water. And then he was making jokes. He was like, David could go whatever without water, just making fun of me because I was still working while I was talking. But 5 minutes later, not even. Somebody that worked for Townhouse, I believe.
Yeah.
He just walked out there and was like, "Do you guys like want some water or something?" Just out of
Really?
nowhere. And we were like, "Yeah, we'll take water." Yeah. So it just happened
That's
immediately.
awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe you start thinking about money.
Yes,
He said,
yes,
think some
all the
money. He
time.
come up and say, y'all need some money? yeah, I need some money. I need some money. Yeah, awesome, man. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
And I see so many different people in your room here. Do you have a favorite athlete of all time?
A favorite athlete of all time.
I see the Muhammad Ali.
Well, you know, I'm a big-time sports fan, of course, but Ali might be, he's probably one of them, but I spread it all around.
Fair.
Because I like airs. I like sports airs, but wow, awesome question. No.
Fair.
I really don't have one person. Ali, you know, grew up watching him, watching some of the old.
Did you like Mike Tyson growing up?
Yeah, I like Mike Tyson. Who didn't?
Right.
You know, who didn't? But wasn't one of my favorites.
Fair.
You know, always watch all of his fights. But you know, I spread my sports around, man. So that's a damn good question.
Fair.
Damn good question.
I was about to say something about the fact that it's like you're very versatile with the sports that you watch.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like very difficult to just pick a favorite athlete because there's so many. Like maybe you could pick. You'd have an easier time picking your favorite athlete from each sport. And
Good one.
Because I'm
I can.
I'm the same way. It's like when people ask me like my favorite music artist, I'm like I listen to so much different kind of music.
Yes.
It's like
Yes.
incomparable to be like this person is specifically my favorite artist
Mm-hmm.
because I have a favorite rapper.
Right.
Eminem's not my favorite R&B singer though.
Right,
Like, you know what I
right,
mean?
right.
Like,
David, you're very like enthusiastic about writing.
Right. Yes.
And would you say you have a favorite author or a writer or orator, somebody that works with words?
No, that's a tough question. To be fair, no,
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, if I had to pick somebody, it might be Nietzsche. Friedrich Nietzsche might be
Yeah,
my favorite.
Friedrich Nietzsche has a very strong vocabulary.
Yeah, he convinces me to learn words more than anybody else. That would be the only reason I could really just say out loud that he would be number one, though.
You seem to be lately interested in Soren Kierkegaard.
Soren Kierkegaard, yes,
Yeah.
that dude is very fluent with his words. He's very poetic and he's very honest, and he's difficult to interpret, which I like. Because I have to be like, is this just rubbish? Or is it like he's on to something?
Did you
I'm
just
not getting it.
accidentally put these like 7 words together
Yeah, it's
into
like,
a
this is
sentence
not
or
supposed
whatever?
To make sense. How does this make sense? It's like, oh, he wrote it in 1840. That's why it makes sense. Like,
Awesome.
and then you have to learn how to read Old English.
And
all
he's not even an English speaking person. He
that. No,
probably
he's Danish.
so he probably was
Yeah.
translated as well. Somebody
Yeah.
else
Mm.
chose the words.
Well, all right,
Awesome.
fine. Let's
Good
pick a
stuff.
sport. What about your favorite boxer?
Ali. I had to
Oh.
go.
Do you like Floyd?
Yeah, I like Floyd. But again, I like air. So back then, I like the Ali's, the Tyson,
nowadays?
Sugar Ray Leonard,
Sugar Ray Leonard is
Sugar
actually one of
Ray,
my favorites,
yeah, Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler. You know, these some OGs. You know, that I grew up watching. So, Hoist Gracie.
Oh yeah, I
You
know.
know,
Gracie.
oh man, him and that family. We used to come over here and watch. Yeah, we used to come over here and watch all of their fights, man. I used to have so many people over here watching Hoist Gracie and their family come out in that UFC and just show out,
crazy.
man. So stuff like that, yeah, man. I love that. Love that stuff. Yep.
I'm gonna look at. Wait, Alyssa, what time are we at right now? Or no, I'm sorry. Oh dang, that's crazy, dude. I'm not dropping this question until the end, so I'm gonna hold on to this question because I think
Oh,
it's
Man,
that's
that's
hilarious.
That's all good.
building the
It's all
suspense.
good.
Yeah, we're not asking this one yet. I
It's
already know
all
it's gonna
good,
be fun.
baby.
I don't have any written down, so I was gonna ask you guys if you had
Come
any.
on with it.
Because honestly, the biggest things I was curious about with Henry were the things that I had learned about him, which is he loves sports. I'm pretty much done. He loves sports and he loves podcasting and his community.
And my,
I'm a little-
and my kids and my family.
I mean, yeah, we could talk about the family, man. How long? So you've been a family. So you've had a child for 30 years,
Yeah.
and
my
then
daughter.
were you married before that?
Yeah.
You were
We
married
got
before that?
We got married. No,
Okay.
we got married and then we had the kids.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Well, I had to get that right, didn't
No,
I?
I was curious.
But I tell you what, though, I did it the right way because I remember when my wife moved into this house and my grandmother and my mom was still alive. I really didn't stay in this house. It was like I grew up with tradition. So I really didn't move into this house until we got married. You know, I was allowed to stay down here till 3, 4 in the morning, but when my grandparents or my mom, you know, my grandparents lived up on 11th and my mom lived right here in Southview Apartments, when they wake up, they better see my ass. And then I can eat and then I can leave. I used to just come down here and clean up and leave. So, but my wife stayed down here for a few, and then we got married and we had our family. It was awesome, man. But tradition was big for me, man. My grandmother, she wasn't allowing that. It is what it is. You know, you gotta respect that, man.
No, I was just saying none of us are married.
Yeah, we're not married.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask. So you've lived some life. What would you say that your biggest advice to somebody like around? Because we're all in our 20s, and I mean he's 30, but like we're hitting like the same age range.
You know what? I'm glad you asked me that because times have so much changed.
Fair.
I had a friend ask me, you know, the other day, did you ever think that times was going to get like this?
Right.
And I said, well, as a kid, you don't think like that.
Yeah.
So just for you guys, man, just go with the flow. Again, stay positive. You know what? And everybody's going to say this is weird to say. But this is what I grew my kids up on, to stay respectful to everybody. If you can, back in the day, you couldn't do this. You can walk in somebody's house, you know, us kids, we can walk in somebody's house, but you better not go in their house and go to their refrigerator and start opening it.
Right.
When you get that damn respect that you can walk in somebody's house and open their refrigerator and be nice, you made it.
Yeah.
It might sound weird, because I wouldn't expect you to walk up in my house and go to my refrigerator. Something could happen to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right,
But when
right.
you have that respect and you know them people, just stay positive and just stay respectful to people, man. Just stay out their way. If they don't want you in their way, get out the way. Let them go their way, and you go yours. Here's what it is. I want to fool with no negative people or nobody that's going to put me down or anything, because I can't do it. Especially with the second life that I really think I have, with the surgeries and stuff I had. So I ain't trying to F with nobody, man.
You're not wasting energy on people
I ain't
that
wasting,
are just going to pull
man.
your energy away from you.
This is my second life for me, so I'm throwing it all out there. Have
get
fun
that.
with it. Yeah.
How does that feel to be on a second life? Do you appreciate everything more, or?
You know, I use that term "second life" like I was dead
Right.
or something, but I was.
It's a different part of your life.
No, I'm gonna be real honest. I was damn near close. You know, had the hernia, which happened years ago, and everybody knows you really don't have to deal with that too much. And I didn't, so I was sitting there on the couch, man, watching TV, and let me call my doctor, get this damn hernia done. And so set up the appointment and did the EKG, and my heart rate was 39. So they thought something was wrong with the machines and did it again and dropped to 27. So when you say that, you're a walking zombie, man. I mean, they was like unreal impressed they was impressed on how I had no pain, no dizziness. I mean, I'm reffing games, I'm doing podcasting. You know what? I'm going to tell you something about that too right there. And to know that when the doctor came up and told my wife, said, Henry, I have nothing to do with your body now. We got to work on your heart. That right there, what you said, man, it was crazy, man. That whole segment right there, because that whole week I couldn't sleep. Am I going to live a whole week to start this process with my body? Or am I just going to pass out and that's it? You think about shit like that, man.
Right, you were directly confronted with it.
I was confronted with it right there, man.
Yeah,
And
there's no getting around it.
there's no getting around it. And the next week I had the pacemaker put in, and then 5 weeks later, the hernia surgery. Then 6 weeks later, the ablation. Man, I went through it. I told somebody today, they treat me like a damn chopping steak out there. They was chopping me up, man. But it was for the better, man. And I know a lot of people put Reed down. I never put him down, man. I love him.
Reed, really?
Oh.
You're the first person I've ever heard say that.
I don't care.
That's crazy.
They hooked me up.
That's crazy.
They hooked me up.
I mean, you can't argue with that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
like,
I ain't gonna argue. I love them.
Cannot.
I love
me
them,
and Reed,
man.
we like that.
I think I was the first person ever to get to take your phone in there. I was taking pictures in there with They was had my phone taking pictures. I had pictures of the staffs in there almost during the show. Oh man, it's almost coming back to what you guys said, man. I'm out there. I love having fun, and I made so many friends there.
That's crazy.
Man, I had my friend. They said, you ain't allowed to take it from the doctor. Yeah, let him take it. I was taking pictures. And the first time the doctor didn't take the picture, but then when I went back for my second surgery, he was all up in the picture, and I didn't even know it. I didn't even know it till I woke up. I was so dazed. They took the picture while I was all So yeah, I'm in the bed like this, right? And after the surgery, and they're all around me like we are now, and I'm in front, and they take the picture, and I come home, and I get off, and I was like, how in the hell? Awesome, man. Good stuff, man.
They said, you're going to bring the phone in. We're going to take the picture.
Man, good stuff. It was. We had so much fun, man. Talked through the whole thing. And everything. It was fun,
That
man.
kind of reminds me of this, like, the hidden part of, like, my jail story is as soon as I go back to the waiting area after I'm processed and all that, I'm walking, I got my hair tied down, like, oh, it's the worst. I hear Keaton, and I was like, who the fuck is in jail saying my name right now for a split second? And I turn in, it's one of my dudes, Pob is his name, from my gym.
Okay.
And I was like, what are you doing here? He's like, he's way more likely to be seen in jail than me. So he's like, what the fuck are you doing here, bro? Like, did you beat someone up? But we were, yeah, me too. I was like, that's the only thing that he could think of. Like,
Right, yeah.
and we were back in the cafeteria area, like not the cafeteria area, but the a cell to eating lunch.
Okay.
And he was like standing up in the middle of the room talking to me, like, there's about like 8 other people in there. And he's like shadowboxing, like talking to me about some gym stories, like letting it be known, bro. Like,
Right.
and it was making me nervous the whole time, low key. But yeah, but that's what I was saying is that you had people there kind of normalizing the shit that would probably make you freak out a little more and be in your head about,
Yeah.
and then them being fun, like, oh my God, Henry, what's up, man?
Yeah.
It just makes shit a little better.
It does. You're right. You hit
And that's
the
all
nail.
because you got out and you were doing you and living your life, and you weren't just
Doing
hiding.
the life. Yeah,
You're
man.
very well at it.
I appreciate
What was
it,
that
man.
last question you had? I was curious about that,
Dude.
bro.
I really want to save it, but wait, does anybody else have any questions?
I think we're
before?
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It don't matter to
Seth, do
me.
you have a question?
I think I've asked all my questions, honestly.
All right. Most important question, right? Henry, who's going to win this fight?
Yeah.
Mad Dog Miller.
I knew it was
or
coming.
Levi?
You know something? I want to say something. I want to say something. You gave it away. She didn't tell me. She laughed. When she started laughing, I kind of knew what she was going to say. Yeah, and as soon as she said, I was like, and then she started laughing. I said, he gonna ask me that damn. You know what, man? I'm not gonna do that shit. I'm not doing that shit. You know why? I have my notion of who's going to win. I'm not doing that shit. Y'all not giving me this. This is fun. I love this, man.
I'm trying to get
You
Henry
know
to
what?
say it.
You trying?
He's thinking,
Wow!
he's
Wow!
thinking about it.
How long have you known Levi?
Well, I only know Levi maybe a year or so because, like I said, only the podcasting. So now, don't get me wrong, ain't no bias or nothing.
Of course,
Just
yeah,
because
hell
I know-
nah, yeah.
No, I ain't putting me in the middle.
Who's
Now-
better, man to man?
Yeah. You
Okay,
trying,
who's
man.
cute? Who do you think is more attractive?
yeah. Who's better looking?
Let me tell you something. If y'all need to ask me something. Let me tell you something. He's more this motherfucker right here is more wild because when he put that video shit out, I was weak.
Yeah.
I was weak.
My
I
videos
said,
are
when he
undefeated,
did that,
bro.
I said, "Are you serious?" I said, "Oh, this podcast is jumping."
All right, so
Let's
there's a
go.
lot of things that Levi says. Most of it is cap. The one thing I would say that Levi gets correct is that Keaton is the king of the social media and making.
Yeah,
people
that's the
laugh,
only
bro.
thing.
This man is
I
the best
was-
person I've ever seen at talking shit on the internet, bro.
I thought I would lose my mind. I was at work when I seen that. I was running over showing the other employees. I was, man, look at this shit.
I'm about to have this guy on my podcast, bro.
And it's like, for real? I was like, man, look at this, man, what he did. So in that aspect, but Levi, he keeps it up now.
Yeah.
I'm getting Levi brings that energy.
Hell
That's
yeah.
what it is. He brings that energy,
believe
and
that.
I cannot wait.
I'm excited,
cannot
bro.
wait. And I'll tell you what I will do before the fight. You're gonna have to have the podcast somewhere else. I will come to the podcast and I will give my answer.
So they do like they're
So-
thinking about doing like a conflict cast is what it's called.
Yes. So
Before the fight.
yeah. So essentially, what we
If you do a podcast before the fight, I will
Give your final
my gosh,
prediction.
Am I really saying
The
that?
final prediction.
I will.
How you gonna do it?
Yeah, and that's passion. So I will say it. I
right.
will give my final prediction. The podcast before the fight.
all right. So let's.
Okay,
let's
now
look at this
remember
one.
what I'm saying.
Yes, sir. Yes,
the
sir.
podcast
We need the
before
date.
the fight.
So yes, it would be the Tuesday.
I
before
will
the
give
17th.
my prediction.
So
I gotta
'cause
say,
y'all-
Henry, you are a
y'all ain't
genius.
getting me tonight.
I gotta say, you are a genius.
I am.
You're bringing
I
a
am,
lot of hype to it.
man.
all right. So,
So I
August
will.
13th, we will have Henry's answer on who he.
I'm
the
only gonna
day.
be able to make that one.
We still in July.
not gonna be
for a
there?
couple
Yeah,
days.
we got a little while.
Wait, it's
Yeah.
August 13th. I don't think I'll be able to make these next two
Why?
because just fight camp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, we'll have Henry on one of them then.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll pop up.
Yeah.
Pop up. No biggie. I'll pop up.
I'm
But
sure.
I will-
I
I
don't
will
know.
make my
I don't know your
prediction.
schedule, but I mean,
If you can make it,
yeah, I would try to work around.
you gotta make it.
Boy, this prediction is gonna be big. I'm gonna be at that fight, and Bugs is gonna be on me. I can't wait. This is gonna be so much fun, you guys. And I can't. That's a good question because I love it.
That's the pressure, right? That's the heat.
Pressure. That's community pressure.
We're in the
That's
kitchen right now,
community
bro.
pressure, right? I love it, man. I cannot wait. I mean, it's something.
Everybody got to
So-
tune in. August
Yeah.
13th, we're gonna get a prediction.
Honestly,
Yeah,
it's
you did it.
wild because I think that what we could do is we could make the podcast before the fight the conflict cast,
Yeah.
where we talk about what's gonna happen, maybe make some predictions. You know.
I gotta make mine.
Yeah,
Shit,
yeah,
what
yeah.
you looking at
Maybe
me
we can start getting in.
for? I'm stuck.
he put his word on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would say
yeah,
we were
I
probably
know.
gonna be a little biased, but yeah. So like we have like multiple areas where we do our podcast
Okay.
essentially, and it's like this is the conscious cast. This is where we get together and like talk about whatever's going on in life and stuff like that.
Okay,
We have a version of it called the casual cast, which is where we're streaming and stuff, just kind of chilling
Video
on the couch,
games.
yeah, just saying,
Oh, okay.
just talking
Cool.
shit, joking, whatever.
Accents.
Yeah.
All good.
And then
We talk like Australians.
yeah, we have like
That
the
wasn't
casual
Australian,
or
just to be
the-
clear.
The creative, yeah. We have the unconscious cast where we invite women on and like ask them questions about men and like
Oh,
yeah,
woo.
yeah. Oh yeah,
I won't be a That's the one.
Wait, okay, I'm just gonna tell you one question. Have you ever heard of the ick?
No.
Okay,
Like girls getting the ick.
girls get the ick about guys when they do stuff they don't like. So that was a question we asked. What's the worst ick you get from a guy? We just ask girls questions about what they think
Lord,
about
I'm
the,
not gonna
the
be
silly
there
stuff men be
on that
doing. You know
one.
what I'm saying?
I'm not in that. I don't even know. Sorry.
So then we have
We forgive you.
I looked over at your group and I'm sorry, but I ain't trying to get involved in none of that. Look, I've been around a long time, and when they say something, you just, ladies, you just let it go.
oh yeah,
Go deal with
oh
it,
yeah.
man.
I'm learning that right
Yeah,
now.
learn
actually.
it.
It's
Yeah,
really funny
learn
to
it.
bring that up.
Yeah, learn it.
But yeah, so then we also
Learn it.
have the creative cast, which is like we're taking videos of like us refurbishing the stool,
Okay,
or like
right.
maybe us streaming, making music, and like
Okay.
stuff like that. And then for like Keaton's fights, now we're gonna have the conflict cast. It's
So
all-
that's the one
it's
that
all the
I gotta
C's,
be
yeah,
on.
Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna have
I
you
gotta
on
be
the
on
first
the
conflict cast
conflict.
episode.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's gonna be wild. I'm going to definitely. I will.
Okay,
Yeah, I
all
will.
right.
We'll hold you to that.
You tried to
I'm
get
really
me, man. He tried to get me, didn't he?
David's working on how ruthless he can
tried
be.
to get me.
To
Yeah.
make the question worse, they wanted to ask if you wanted to win.
Yeah.
Dude, like,
No.
What now?
the original question was they wanted to know who you wanted to win.
Oh.
Yeah, who's your favorite?
She said-
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
She said our original question.
That's fine. They can't because that's not up to me. I can't do that. That's a bias. Yeah, I'm going to.
Right.
Yeah, both of them are cool. They're both my friends. I ain't even know this dude. I ain't know this dude but a couple of days, but it felt like I've been knowing him as long as Levi.
Hell yeah.
No,
Hell yeah.
all y'all, no, really. I mean, I can meet somebody. I've been knowing Levi, but you guys' attitude, the way you bringing it to the table to me,
Yeah.
seems like I've been knowing you forever.
Absolutely.
And that's
Absolutely.
and that's not nothing to give y'all for positive stuff. It's just how I feel.
Thank you, bro. Hell yeah. Hell
It's just
yeah.
how I feel.
And I
Yeah,
feel like
really.
deep down,
Yeah,
everyone, even Levi's teammates, want me to win. They want to see, my story go on because it's gonna be fucking wild. It's gonna be
Yeah.
entertaining. They're gonna want to keep it going. So
It's
everyone,
gonna be wild.
This guy.
I think that you're a really good judge of character and the people that you want to like allow into like getting your energy, like you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, it's wild, man. It's just fun, man. Like I said, just be passionate, man. I still can't believe he tried to sucker me into that, man. That was a damn good one, man. That was a damn good one.
That's
man.
David being real.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well-
But yeah, man, just being passionate, man.
Yes,
Just keep
definitely.
y'all just keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Yeah.
Unless anybody has anything else to say. Yeah, honestly,
I think that was a great-
love that. Henry, I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Oh, man.
I loved
See,
having
Yeah.
you.
Like I said, man, for the first time, being interviewed and not being the interviewer, I'm just sitting here having a damn blast, man. So,
Yeah.
I can see you
anytime,
having a lot
fellas.
of interviews.
Yeah.
I can see you having a
Anytime,
lot.
fellas. Yeah,
Seriously,
anytime, fellas.
I think it's an interesting podcast. I think people should tune in because I think you've got the insight to ask the right questions. You know, how,
appreciate
you're somebody that's passionate about sports, and you've played sports, and you know what it's like to be an athlete. And I think you know how to ask the questions from an athlete that gets the right information about how they're feeling about what they're doing.
Yeah, and that all comes from, and like I said, being respectful, walking into somebody's house, going in their refrigerator might sound weird, but you got to be passionate to people, be honest to people. I mean, that's it. And it'd just take you all over, because if I wasn't passionate and honest, then I wouldn't have met none of y'all.
Fair.
Yeah.
I mean, really. Be honest. I wouldn't be in the position that I am now, interviewing people, calls. I'm trying to pass it on.
Yeah.
I love that. You want to start over here and then say your name, and then we can end it here?
Well, thanks for tuning into the Conscious Cast, episode 6. We all had a blast. I hope you guys had a blast.
Wow,
I'm the
blast.
Vanella Boy, spelled with an E, not an I.
I am Days Production.
You go right ahead.
Oh, Henry Baker had a blast, man. Sports Flash.
Henry
Just
Baker,
Sports
the man.
Flash. Sports
Yeah,
Flash.
I love it. I love
All
it.
right. I'm Seth A.M. Thank you for tuning in.
Keaton Mad Dog Miller. August
more thing?
17th. Don't forget it.
You reminded me, before we get out of here, if you want to plug yourself, maybe make it known like where they can find you on social medias or
Yeah.
where your podcast goes.
Well,
or-
I usually do my podcast on my Facebook Live, and then you can go to ZTV Online, and check it out. And like I said, I do my podcast when I want.
Fair.
See, and that's the thing,
Fair.
I don't have to do them, and that's what I said about just being passionate. But I get back out there, probably have one next week. But other than that, ZTV, and Facebook Live, and then YouTube. After a couple of days after we record it,
Fair.
so you get that out.
yeah.
So, yeah, if you want the insider knowledge on Richmond, what's going on in the sports scene, this is your fucking guy. This is the guy.
Henry
I
Baker.
appreciate
Henry
it.
Baker,
I
yeah.
appreciate it.
Thanks for tuning in.
All right.
Thanks,
Take care.
guys. Thanks, guys.